We're back. Kathy, stop breaking the cups, okay? Stop it. Stop it.
Quit throwing stuff.
Okay. Well, we're back on Born a Musician Radio on WDBFradio.com. And we have with us the lovely Gina Lamont. And Gina's here to play some more music for us. Are you ready right now? Would you like to just go right into it? Or
Sure.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go
good with that.
Because I think there's people texting in right now that they're loving the music.
Awesome. All right.
This is very cool.
Well, this is The Undertaker's Daughter.
There we go.
Secrets that we keep, and the stories we have to tell, and the tiny holes we leave along the way. We teach our sons and daughters to love as best we can, but we really shape our children with the things that we can't say. His father died when he was 3. All the whispers on the grave, they didn't think he'd understand, so they never did explain. The young man looked for answers that he couldn't find at home. So he made it up, as we all do, as he went along. No one ever taught him how to say goodbye, so he made it his last mission to witness as they cried. He held the hands of widows as he walked them to the edge, watched them drop their rings and roses on their loved ones' final beds. The secrets that we keep, and the stories we have to tell, and the tiny holes we leave along the way. We teach our sons and daughters to love as best we can, but we really shape our children with the things that we can't say. I'm the undertaker's daughter. I grew up with the dead. I peeked inside their coffins, touched the pillows neath their heads. I still hear my daddy's voice in the silence all around. He said, we're here for the living. Then he left without a sound. And so I looked for answers in every holy book. I made it up as I went along. All the things that I had learned in words were not enough. Oh, I prayed that my heart would find my song. The secrets that we keep, and the stories we have to tell, and the tiny holes we leave along the way. Teach our sons and daughters to love as best we can, but we really shape our children with the things that we can't say. My father and my only son, they gave each other watch them grow old and young till that final heart attack. No words for the love we shared, and there's so much I will never know. I sat my child down, told him Grandpa had to go. I handed him my father's ring, told him he was now a man. I didn't know how not to break his heart. I hope he'll find the answers the best way that he can, 'cause God knows I don't know where to start. The secrets that we keep, and the stories we have to tell, and the tiny holes we leave along the way, we teach our sons and daughters to love as best we can, but we really shape our children with the secrets that we keep, and the stories we have to tell, and the tiny holes we leave along the way. We teach our sons and daughters to love as best we can, but we really shape our children with the secrets that we keep, and the stories we have to tell, and the tiny holes we leave along the way. We teach our sons and daughters to love as best we can, but we really shape our children with the things that we can't say.
All right. Yes, sir. Unbelievable. Gina Lamont, everybody.
Thank you.
Wow, you know, and it dawned on to me while you were singing that song is how life has a full circle.
Yeah.
You know, it comes, it's cyclical.
Yeah.
And it makes a full circle.
Well, you know, it's really funny because when I was writing it, I thought that the hook line was going to be we shape our children with the things that we don't say.
Right.
And I started it out feeling very accusatory towards his mom, you know, writing this because my dad died when he was 3 years old, and they never talked about it. It was the elephant in the room his whole life. And one of the reasons he became a funeral director was to learn how to say goodbye and help other people do that,
Wow.
you know. So it was kind of accusatory until I got to the third verse when I was writing, trying to explain to my 12-year-old son that his grandfather had a heart attack in the night. And I realized it's not that we don't say these things, it's that we can't. We just don't have the words for it. And it took me being a parent, you know, watching all these generations of parents who love their children but
Right.
just don't have the words.
Right. And as a parent, you want to protect your children from the hurt.
You do, but sometimes you just can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
What do you say, John?
Powerful.
Okay, this is the serious part of the show.
Oh, that was serious, that song. I'm telling you, that'll blow you away.
I saw
anybody,
Hook shaking over here when she was looking at him. Like, don't look at me.
No. Well, you know, I'm getting up there in years.
That's what I was talking about.
I just went to
You
the heart
said it, not
doctor
me.
today. You know, went to the heart doctor today and was like, oh, okay. You know, but these
What did he
things,
say? You had to write more Mike?
These guys are a bunch of quacks anyway. I don't even get, you know, I've heard too many of them, but anyway. But we were talking about Gina tonight, so, you know. But, you know, the Undertaker's daughter, that kind of brings it up.
There
you know,
you
makes,
go.
you know,
It does, doesn't it?
you know, there's not much you can do about that, you know. But, you know, what a powerful song. How long did it take you to write that song?
Actually, that one was like a day.
What? A day?
Sometimes things happen very quickly within an hour or two. Sometimes it's a day, and then sometimes it's weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
That
know, it
songwriting's
just
like that.
I never know what's going to happen. We joke in my concerts, after a while people just say it with me. I write most of my stuff in my tent in the middle of a rainstorm. I'm camping somewhere and I'm in the middle of a rainstorm and all I've got are my drums and my guitar in the tent, and with everything else blocked out and that sound of the rain, that's when I write.
Now you say drums. What kind of drums do you carry with you?
I carry a djembe, a small djembe with me. I have a couple of larger ones for recording purposes, but when I'm on the road, I like to travel light. So I have a smaller djembe. It's about a 16-inch.
Right.
And then I've got a couple of different frame drums that I carry with me that are a lot of fun to play too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, and also what dawned on me while you were singing that song, you mentioned before that you were waiting when you're on your trip to Virginia, you were waiting for your father to tell you something. What was that? What did he ever tell it to you?
In the song, it was there. I call it a story of 4 generations in 3 verses. And I think what he was trying to tell me was sometimes there just aren't words for, and my dad loved me unconditionally. We used to play this game because he didn't talk a lot. I didn't talk a lot. And we'd be in the car. I'm in like first grade. He's driving me to school and nobody's talking. Not even the radio on. It's just sweet silence. And I'd hear him say, "What?" And I'd say, "I didn't say anything." And he'd say, "Oh, I thought I heard you say you loved me." And I'd say, "Oh, yes, I did. I said I love you." And that was a little game that we would play. And that's cute. That's my dad, He was a man of very few words, but when he said them, they were very important.
And you remembered them, and they touched you
hell
deeply.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Wow. So now, you move on. Okay, you move on, and your songs now that you are writing now, what kind of influence are pushing you there?
A lot of everything. I tend to write a lot about the mythical gods and goddesses. To me, sometimes they're very real. To other people, they might be myth and story. But they do tend to move around in my life, and I recognize those energies when they do, like Coyote, and I write about the old Greek gods, and there's a song that I wrote about the Morrigan, which is a Celtic death goddess. She picks up the souls, and she likes the ones that die bloody deaths.
I see a theme going on.
I know.
Here.
Well,
catch the dark side here.
I decided to put all these dead people on the Undertaker's Daughter CD and get them out of the way.
Oh, there you go.
Nervous there, getting nervous.
All right. And I think come Halloween we're going to promote this. We'll have a Halloween show, and we'll get them all out there and get it done and over with, and then we can have some positive energy going on.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. But I wrote about the Morrigan and how she loves those souls, and those are the rubies that are in her nest. I write about whatever happens. In fact, I'm in the middle of writing a song right now. I'm going to a festival in a few weeks that's going to be down in South Florida. And at this particular campground.
Now, where is this? Because I'm from Fort Lauderdale.
Bonita Springs.
Bonita Springs.
There's a place called Summerland in Bonita Springs.
That's on the West Coast. Right.
Yes, it's on the West Coast. And they host all kinds of different festivals down there, and I'm going to be down there to play music. And there's Pirate Camp. And
I'm going.
And there's Elf Camp, and so there's Pirate Camp and there's Elf Camp. So I'm writing a story right now, a ballad about the pirates and the elves.
We can drop Mike off at the Elf Camp. Mike, you're going to Elf
Captain
Camp.
Hook to the stage. Captain Hook to the stage.
Yeah.
You need to back up the Undertaker's daughter here.
Watch out! There's the sword.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of alligators down there.
There are a few. There's lots of snakes.
Fishing's good down in Bonita Springs.
There's lots of raccoons down there, Ann. Those raccoons are wicked.
Yeah, especially in the summertime when you get the rabies and they come out and get back.
They don't even care if it's daylight, broad daylight. Brazen are they? Yeah.
I can tell you a few stories about some of those things. We're going to take our break a little early because we're going to come back. We've got one song recorded that we're going to play of yours, Ruby, right? And then you're going to do one more for us?
Sure.
Okay. And then, boy, this time is just flying by. This is fun.
It's fun.
It's absolutely fun.
This is the whole. This is the. There's a lot of work putting on Born a Musician and doing this show, but this is the fun part. This is the reward. Right. And then you're listening to Gina Lamont. When are you going to be down in Bonita Springs? When is that coming up? And what is the name of that festival?
The name of the festival is Fires of Beltane.
Fires of Beltane.
It'll be in Summerland in Bonita Springs. And it's going to be, I think, the third or fourth weekend of May.
It almost sounds like a Renaissance thing, you know?
It's going to be a little bit of that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, a bunch
we
of
might
crazy
have to take
people.
a ride down there and check that out.
Sure, why not?
Lots of great music. Lots of South Florida bands are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you have to keep us up to date, and when that comes, what's the date on that again?
You're asking me. I don't have my calendar
Okay,
in front of me,
don't
but
worry
I'll
about
let you know. I'll
Let
let
us
you know when I come back.
We'll put it on the air, and we'll tell everybody about it. Well, maybe we'll go down there. Maybe we'll do a little remote or something like
That'll be
that.
fun.
You know, whatever we can do. You know, it's just crazy around here. So anyway. But anyway, you're listening to Born a Musician, the radio show on WDBFradio.com. We'll be right back.
Wow.